You know, it really would be crazy for us to believe that we really were alone in the world or in the universe and that there is no other intelligent life form out there.
Wait, what? Let's play that again.
Crazy for us to believe that we really were alone in the world or in the universe.
Did you catch that? Senator Mike Rounds, a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, just made a revealing slip in his latest interview with Ross Coulthart with NewsNation Reality Check. He said, "We'd be crazy to believe we're alone in the world," and then quickly corrected himself to say universe. Why would a senator talking about extraterrestrial life accidentally say world first? Because when you know something exists here on Earth, that's where your mind goes first. Hey ufologers, I'm Cristina Gomez, and welcome to this episode of UFO News Updates. That Freudian slip wasn't the only interesting thing from Senator Rounds' interview. This sitting member of both the Senate Intelligence and Armed Services Committees just revealed that Congress has written legislation mentioning non-human intelligence exactly 24 times. If you enjoy UFO news, updates, case studies, and interviews, then this is the channel for you. Subscribe and hit that like button below. Share this channel with those that you want to be in the know with all the latest UFO news. This is about trillions of dollars, illegal government programs, and what one intelligence officer called administrative terrorism to silence the truth. And it all traces back to one man's testimony that literally changed everything. In July of 2023, former intelligence officer David Grush sat before Congress and dropped information that shook Washington to its core. Under oath, he testified that the U.S. government has been running a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. When asked if the government had recovered non-human biologics, he gave a revealing answer.
You've stated that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my NewsNation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
That testimony sent shockwaves through the political establishment, and it's exactly why Senators Chuck Schumer and Mike Rounds crafted the most aggressive transparency legislation in American history.
Based on your briefings, do you believe there is evidence supporting those concepts? And how should we, the public, interpret the use of language like non-human intelligence in those proposed amendments?
We wanted to make sure that people knew that we weren't hiding from the possibility, but that did not mean that we had any evidence that it existed. We wanted them to know that we were being open on the possibility, but we did not have evidence of that occurring today. But if we wouldn't have put that in there, then perhaps we would have frustrated them even more by saying, you're not asking for that information, and that's the part that is the juiciest part of it.
But here's something that should make you think. Even congressmen don't automatically get the highest levels of clearance when they take office. Senator Rounds himself admits he doesn't have access to everything. And that raises kind of a disturbing question. Is that compartmentalization protecting national security, or is it protecting the people who've been hiding these programs from the very lawmakers who are supposed to oversee them? And here's where the strategy gets kind of brilliant, actually. The UAP Disclosure Act isn't just shooting for the stars, no pun intended. It's using psychological warfare against the establishment. Because let's think about it. Their first attempt got shredded. Rounds and Schumer came back with legislation so comprehensive, so demanding, that even if they only got half of what they asked for, that would be a big deal. Their original UAP Disclosure Act was 64 pages of legal precision that mentioned non-human intelligence multiple times. This wasn't vague language about unexplained phenomena. This was Congress directly addressing the possibility that we are not alone, and that someone in the government has been hiding the evidence. But that groundbreaking legislation sailed through the Senate, but it hit a brick wall in the House. Two Republican representatives, Mike Rogers and Mike Turner, reportedly killed the most powerful provisions.
Why do you think that original UAP disclosure legislation, it got through the Senate in 2023, and then it was blocked reportedly by Representatives Mike Rogers and Mike Turner? If there's nothing to hide, and this is the question I keep on coming back to, and a lot of people ask me, if there's nothing to hide, why was there any opposition in the House to being more transparent on UAPs?
Look, I respect both of those members of the House. They are honorable individuals. They are true Americans that are patriotic. My only assessment right now, other than direct contact with them, is that they had concerns that it might disclose very sensitive information about either our adversaries' capabilities or about our own capabilities. And without proof that it might be some other alternative out there, it could very well have damaged our own national security. And I really think they were concerned about the release of any information that might give away our capabilities that we otherwise don't disclose today. So from my perspective, I respect what they had to say, but I'd really like to be able to get around that and get back down to what our original intent was, which was to satisfy the curiosity of the American public and people around the world. Is there actually information that we have that we haven't disclosed that might be out there, or that contractors might have that we're not aware of here at the congressional level, or materials that may very well have, that we don't know where it came from, but we haven't been able to figure out anything about? Those are fair questions to ask. And in the future, if we do find information about items that we don't know where it comes from, I don't want to have it get lost. I'd rather have it be kept in an archive that could be protected until such time as a separate independent committee could decide it would be appropriate to release to the public.
Now, Senator Rounds is diplomatic about his House colleagues, but let's read between the lines. When you have legislation that explicitly authorizes the government to use eminent domain, essentially legal confiscation to seize technologies of unknown origin and biological evidence of non-human intelligence from private companies, and that gets shot down, what does that tell you? It tells you that there's something to confiscate. And here's the detail that should make you pay attention. Senator Rounds revealed that multiple credible sources have indicated UAP information has been improperly, perhaps illegally, withheld from Congress. We're not talking about normal classification here. We're talking about criminal concealment from the very people constitutionally required to oversee their programs. And it gets worse. Rounds confirmed that there's an ongoing FBI investigation into these allegations, not just the UAP sightings, federal crimes, including, according to some whistleblowers, allegations of murder to protect these secrets. Yikes.
We've discussed it on multiple occasions about the possibility that because of what I call the siloing, that one side doesn't know what the other side's doing. And that part has been of concern. Because of the secrecy involved in each entity trying to maintain the highest degree of confidentiality. So that part, I would agree, plays a role in how we disseminate information or coordinate information.
Think about the implications. While we're spending billions trying to understand technologies that defy our physics, our adversaries might have access to the same phenomena. China and Russia might be leveraging non-human technology while we're stuck in bureaucratic secrecy that actually makes us less safe. But here is the good news. They're not giving up. Senator Rounds confirmed they're reintroducing the UAPDA in 2025, and the political landscape has shifted dramatically. New House membership means, hopefully, a fresh perspective. And most importantly, public pressure is mounting like never before. The Pentagon's Aero Office now admits they're tracking over 1,600 UAP reports, with hundreds remaining completely unexplained. Their own scientists use terms like true anomalies and admit some objects demonstrate unusual flight characteristics that challenge known physics. But perhaps the most chilling moment came when Senator Rounds addressed what disclosure might actually mean for humanity. And notice this revealing choice of words.
Really, if I could put it in a simpler way, let's just say that there had been a meeting or a contact with something that we didn't believe was from this world, whether it, from another country or from our own resources. At that point, I think there's going to come a time here in which the American public and people from around the world are going to look at it and say, it really would be crazy for us to believe that we really were alone in the world or in the universe and that there is no other intelligent life form out there. But it would be a matter of how you would disclose it correctly and in what would be one of the greatest announcements in the history of mankind, that we are not alone.
Let's be clear about what we're really talking about here. This is a potential revelation that would fundamentally reshape human civilization. If even half of what these whistleblowers claims is true, it means that we have technology that could revolutionize energy, transportation, and manufacturing. Private aerospace companies have been profiting from taxpayer funding programs while keeping the benefits secret. And our government has been lying to us for over 80 years about the most important discovery in human history, according to Ross. So, what happens next? The 2025 National Defense Authorization Act is where the battle will be fought, possibly. Senator Rounds and Senator Schumer need to know the world is watching. The truth, hopefully, is coming. The question is, will we get transparency or will we get another 80 years of secrecy? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for today. I will see you next time. Be safe and remember, keep your eyes on the skies.
If you enjoy the strange and the mysterious, UFOs, the paranormal, and cryptids, this channel is for you. So make sure to subscribe as I do 3 videos right here every single week, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of the bonus content I post right here.